Hello. You've caught me remembering the incident.
Memory is funny, isn't it? It would be really useful to remember all those essential bits of information that keep your life ticking along. Where you left your keys, your mum's birthday, that sort of thing. But instead, we remember precisely two things. Trivial nonsense, like, did you know Pope John Paul II was made an honorary Harlem Globetrotter? Or moments of crippling emotional trauma, like my primary school sports day egg and spoon race final in 1993.
Right there.
I was about to win, then dropped my egg right at the end. Was there on all fours trying to grab it out the hedge while everyone else crossed the finishing line. Reminds me of all those PlayStation trophies that stand alone as the final hurdle before the ultimate prize, the platinum trophy you've given everything for, only to be knocked back by the very last thing you need to do.
Here are 7 diabolical trophies that stopped us from getting the platinum.
The first trophy is connecting hearts and minds from Death Stranding 2 on the beach, which requires you get a 5-star rating with every facility in the game. Now, Death Stranding 2 is a game I absolutely adore and have put nearly 200 hours into since its 2025 release. You may have seen me going on about the rhythmic joy of completing delivery after delivery in the post-game, cruising along the chiral highway, bumping Jen Hoshino's Pop Virus and reliving that stunning intro each time I climbed to see the Boca, all of which I was happy to do, and then some.
But the game being so massive meant that I'd forgotten about some of the more troublesome facilities.
Let's start with the most challenging, Mr. Impossible. These aggravating Antipodeans' whole shtick is to ask for the most delicate items to be delivered from the least accessible places, with speed taking priority over safety. Not exactly the easiest facility to love, and that's before you factor in the map-wide multi-stop extravaganza that is Order 124.
Retrieve 7 pieces of fragile XL cargo from all across Australia in 50 minutes without saving. Not bloody likely.
But let's assume there are intrepid couriers out there that will complete Order 124. Every order after that will be a piece of cake, right?
Wrong.
You forgot about the adventurer, didn't you? The wanderlust nightmare parent who seemingly wants for nothing, given the lack of standard orders deliverable to him, except he loves repeatedly getting lost in precarious situations and then passing out, requiring you to physically carry him back home. A home which, let's not forget, is on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, I'm never getting this platinum.
Our next game is Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, and the diabolical trophy that stopped us getting the platinum is the Perfect Mercenary. The main reason it's made the list is because it's true to its FromSoft heritage and therefore absolute nails, but more generally it represents the complete every mission to the best possible classification category that has come to haunt every trophy hunter's nightmares.
Sleep tight, don't let the S ranks bite.
Now, Armored Core 6 is a significantly brutal example because of just how tough the game is. Juggling your AC's health and ammo is a struggle at the best of times, let alone when you're forced to complete every mission in one life to prevent voiding the S-rank requirements. But as with any difficult mission, you can overcome these types of challenges. You just need the 3 Ps: preparation, patience, and persistence.
Then you come to the 4th P, problem.
As in the problem of having to go through the agony of learning a mission's layout, enemy spawn points, checkpoint locations, and optimal strategy again and again and again until you've hit the absurdly high number required for that one trophy. In the Perfect Mercenary's case, it's 59 missions. Sure, you'll get the easier ones without much trouble, but do you really have it in you to go through another 30? How about 40? Or even 50?
I'll tell you how many I managed. None.
If you haven't played Burnout Paradise Remastered, then stop watching this video and go and play it now. Finished? Good. Did you get the platinum? No, of course you didn't, because you had to complete the hilariously named 8 players meet in the Wildcats baseball stadium trophy.
I wonder why it's called that.
If you guessed an ironic title that actually has nothing to do with the name of the trophy, then you're wrong. It is a literal request for you to gather 7 friends and form an impromptu race meet within the local sports arena. A perfectly reasonable request if it weren't for just a few teensy things. Firstly, the logistics of getting any friendship group together to play games at the same time are hilariously painful, let alone with a group of this size. Secondly, asking everyone to jump onto a game that, while amazing, is now 18 years old, flippin' heck, is quite the ask.
And lastly, I haven't got 7 friends.
All of which serves to highlight the broader diabolicalness of online trophies, those that take the regular niche trophy requests, but then add the extra hurdle of doing it online, which, especially for older games that no longer have the thriving community they used to, often means creating your own.
Something that's particularly hard when my IRL community consists of 3 people.
You know, when you have to properly master a game, not just overcoming the hardest challenges or getting the best rankings, but achieving a deep, fundamental understanding of how everything works and what you're supposed to do. That's what you need to do to get the 4th diabolical trophy on this list, Got There, from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
You have embodied the spirit of the Hawk, Tony Hawk.
To achieve Got There, you have to complete the 19 hard level Get Theres, one for each stage. For those who don't know the difference between a cannonball and a melon, Get There challenges are very specific routes you have to achieve with very specific combos. To be honest, finding them is half the battle, especially in the case of Pro Skater 1's mall level, where it won't trigger unless you jump through the portal at the end of the level, and manual, essentially starting the run from the bottom of the hill before continuing the run from the top.
Something I definitely worked out all on my own.
For the next Get There, you're going to want to do a kickflip 180.
It's a lot to ask, basically, and it's the sort of diabolical trophy that I'm never going to get in a game about becoming one with the board. Leaves me wanting to kickflip the whole platinum hunt right off.
See, I get skating. I'm wizard.
Please don't.
Stardew Valley is next, and the reason the Fector's Challenge trophy is number 5 on this list is twofold. Mainly because it's a trophy for finishing a demanding top-down twin-stick shooter that requires you to have the reflexes of a fighter pilot, the precision of a darts champion, and the patience of the PlayStation Access audience watching Dave fight Jecht in Final Fantasy X.
What was he thinking?
However, I would be lying if I said I wasn't completely baffled by anyone not only choosing to play Journey of the Prairie King in a game as diverse as Stardew Valley, but then playing it to completion. Don't get me wrong, I love a good minigame, especially when it's a retro throwback designed with as much care as this one, but when you have to dedicate as much time to learning all its secrets as you do the regular caves in the main game...
I literally don't have time. I've got iridium to mine for.
And quite frankly, finally being able to maximise farming efficiency is a far more precious reward than beating an arcade minigame in the saloon. Especially so given the only rewards are pride, which we all know doesn't last, and the same arcade cabinet you've just spent ages beating.
And a trophy that potentially unlocks the platinum, but, you know, who cares? I care.
The 6th diabolical trophy that stopped us getting the platinum is Paramore 3 from Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and it marks the point where the list begins to veer away from the carefully formed, nuanced critique of the earlier entries.
Yes, it was.
And into the more personal, harder to justify with anything other than vibes entries. But it's my list, so I'll write what I want. And what I want to write is that the Paramore 3 trophy, establish or rekindle a romantic relationship in all 3 games, is an absolute impossibility for me. Now, this is, on the surface at least, a perfectly achievable trophy for pretty much every gamer on the planet. So, why am I finding it so difficult?
Because I am incredibly stubborn.
You see, I like Liara. That's why I romanced her. I charmed her in the first Mass Effect, and I became more than her friend in the Presidium Commons in Mass Effect 3. But you can't romance Liara in Mass Effect 2 until the Lair of the Shadow Broker DLC, which doesn't count towards the trophy progress, which means I cannot achieve Paramore 3 with Liara as my partner. So, because I refuse to cozy up to any other member of the Normandy, I will never get the Paramore 3 trophy or the Platinum.
So there, Mass Effect Legendary Edition Platinum Trophy. So there.
And so we come to the final trophy that is going to stop me from getting a platinum from one of my favourite games of all time. It is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. More specifically, the Foxhound trophy in Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. And it's a bitter pill to swallow because the various tweaks of this stellar remake put those notoriously tough, high difficulty run trophies closer than ever.
And yet, despite knowing all of that, I will still never get the platinum.
The Foxhound trophy asks that you complete the game with the following requirements: 0 continues, 0 alerts, 0 humans killed, 20 or fewer serious injuries, 5 life bars or less damage, 0 life medicines used, and no special items used. Oh, and you have to do it on extreme difficulty. Now, I know the map like the inside of my own mouth. The new ghillie suit makes getting around stealthily more doable, and the fact there's no save limit means you can save scum yourself to victory before you can yell Kuwabara, Kuwabara. But the keen-eyed among you may have noticed I missed out a requirement. And it's one that I consider to be more than diabolical.
Complete the game in 5 hours. No, I will not be doing that.
If getting the Foxhound ranking, and by extension the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater Platinum Trophy, means I need to skip my beloved cutscenes, then I must respectfully decline. I will not sully the experience of Hideo Kojima's masterpiece by waving away the cinematic highlights of that experience, and for that reason, I'm out.
What can I say? I love the cutscenes in MGS3 even more than I love Liara.
Well, that was 7 diabolical trophies that stopped us from getting the Platinum Trophy. If any of these trophies stopped you from getting the Platinum, please like the video and leave a comment about other trophies that stopped you in your tracks. And make sure to subscribe to PlayStation Access and click the notification bell to see more videos like this and keep up to date with all things PlayStation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
PlayStation